The recording in progress is a precursor to calling the Penn West Council of Trustee meeting to order. Rachel, can you please take roll call attendance?
Yes. Trustee Bellini,
Present.
Trustee Dugan,
Here.
Trustee Dunbar,
Here.
Trustee Jones,
Here.
Trustee John,
Here.
Trustee Kennedy,
Here.
Trustee Logue, Trustee Maggi,
Here.
Trustee Nikolai,
Here.
Trustee Oberlander,
Here.
Trustee Pape,
Here.
Trustee Pickett, Trustee Pickett, Trustee Weaver,
Here.
Trustee Whitson,
Here.
and Trustee Yamba. Okay.
Immense gratitude to Rachel. You're indomitable. Know that there were a few changes in front of the meeting. So if I'm going in the wrong direction, I ask Rachel that you interrupt me and direct me appropriately. Thank you. Trustee Whitson, will you please honor us with the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes. I pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic for which we stand, one nation, under God. I just blanked, so sorry.
Indivisible.
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So sorry, everyone.
That's okay. Thank you, Trustee. At this time, President Anderson, will you share your quarterly report?
Thank you, Chair Dunbar. It is so good to be with all of you. I'd like to begin this report where our work starts and ends, and that is with our students and our alumni. Just last week, we hosted a Penn West alumni reception in Washington, D.C., attended by nearly 50 alumni from California, Clarion, and Edinboro. This builds on events we've hosted in Pittsburgh and New York, and are planning in Erie, Harrisburg, Philadelphia, and other areas. What stood out to me most was not only the strong turnout, but the consistency of what we heard. Alumni sharing stories about how their education shaped their confidence, clarified their direction, and prepared them to succeed across careers in government, education, healthcare, and in the private sector. Our alumni remain connected because they can clearly see the value of their experience, and because that experience still aligns with who they are today. That alignment is also visible in the student success stories emerging across our campuses right now. At California, Ian Mulligan intentionally combined political science and sport management, supported by leadership roles and internships that directly connected to his education and career goals. At Edinboro, Madison Messina, now completing her master's degree in speech language pathology, advanced her professional preparation while also serving as an academic success coach, helping other students navigate their own paths. At Clarion, Zachary Traus, our December commencement speaker, shared the power of engagement and growth. He began as a first-year student, eager to get involved, and emerged as a campus leader, preparing for a career supporting student development. These stories from students and alumni alike tell us something important. When students are given clarity, flexibility, and purpose, they can build an education that connects directly to who they want to become. And that brings me to the strategic work we are doing to ensure every Penn West student has that opportunity. As we continue our work to strengthen Penn West, I want to share with you several updates taken together reflect a common theme: alignment around students, around people, and around how well we tell our story. That focus on alignment reflecting is significant. It is a significant step forward in our academic strategy. Penn West announced a re-envisioned undergraduate academic experience and revised academic array. intentionally designed to put student choice, student experience, and career preparation at the center of every degree pathway. That academic array revision is working its way through the shared governance process. This work is grounded in our innovative multi-campus model and reflects the expectations of today's students. They want clarity, flexibility, and relevance. They want to understand how their education connects to their goals, and they want the ability to shape that experience without increasing time to degree or cost. This redesigned academic framework delivers on those expectations while maintaining academic quality and affordability. Just over 3 years after our launch as Penn West, this is the kind of refinement we should be making. We are moving toward a cohesive, student-designed academic experience, one that allows students to intentionally build on education alignment within their interests, professional goals, and workforce needs. Under the revised academic array, Penn West plans to offer 43 bachelor's degrees, 40 minors, 36 undergraduate certificates. Several programs previously offered only as minors will now be available as embedded certificates, allowing students to earn credentials as part of their degree progress. Many undergraduate majors are also being streamlined, creating space for students to pursue additional credentials without extending time to graduation. The result is a level of flexibility that remains uncommon in public higher education. At the graduate level, Penn West remains the largest provider of graduate education within PASHE, serving approximately 3,300 students. While we continue to offer our doctorate and specialist programs, we are refining our master's portfolio to ensure alignment with enrollment trends and workforce demand. These adjustments reflect our responsibility to offer programs that are relevant, sustainable, and clearly connected to areas of current and future opportunity. Provost Fisher will speak more about the academic array later in the agenda. I'd like to turn now to governance and engagement, specifically the development of a Penn West Staff Senate. The creation of a Staff Senate has been a thoughtful effort rooted in the recognition that staff play a critical role in both the student experience and the daily operation of the university. The Penn West Staff Senate is designed to serve as a representative body for all non-executive, non-faculty employees, strengthening communication across campuses, providing a forum for staff input, and supporting shared governance through collaboration with faculty, students, and administration. Included with your meeting materials are draft bylaws, which the university will soon take action on to approve. I want to thank the Staff Senate Working Group members who have contributed their time and perspective to building this important structure. In that same spirit of collaboration, last semester I convened 3 presidential task forces focused on priority areas critical to Penn West's long-term strength. The task forces are Strategic Planning Task Force, the Data Strategy Task Force, and the Capital Campaign Task Force. These task forces, composed of faculty, staff, and administrators, are now in mid to final phases of their work and will conclude at the end of this fiscal year. Their recommendations will help guide future decision-making and ensure that our progress continues to be informed by data, diverse perspectives, and shared responsibility. Finally, I want to briefly touch on how we communicate the Penn West story. As we refine our academic model and strengthen the student experience, it is essential that our brand accurately reflects who we are today and where we are going. The launch of the new brand campaign this week is a deliberate step to align our external messages with progress we're making internally. In a competitive higher education environment, how we communicate matters. Our campaign is designed to present clear, confident, and unified messages about Penn West. Vice President Rapinski will share more details about this campaign later in her report. For now, I want to emphasize that this effort is about alignment, ensuring that our story matches our substance. Taken together, these updates reflect Penn West at its best: intentional, student-centered, and forward-looking. We are aligning our academic offerings, our governance structures, and our message around a shared commitment to student success and institutional strength. Thank you, Chair Dunbar. That concludes my report.
So sorry. I'm going to bank my remarks next because I feel we need to move forward with a report by Trustee Secretary Neil Weaver, which is the President's Evaluation Committee. I must say that during the President's Evaluation Committee, the chair created a significant standard for creating the report itself, knowing that we're ensuring alignment with institutional goals and strategic priority. We deeply appreciate the committee's findings, and I'm honored to introduce Trustee Secretary Neil Weaver, Chair of the President's Evaluation Committee, for his report.
Thanks, Chair Dunbar, and thank you for letting me move up. I'm not sure how long I'll be off, but I'll try to hop back on. Two quick things when we're talking about the president evaluation is I want to put them into two pieces. One was the actual report itself and what we provided to the chancellor and to the front office at PASHE. We really wanted to stress as a team how fortunate we are to have the president Anderson where he is, walking into a challenging time, not just enrollment, but everything else. There's no easy path, and we appreciate the work, and we really went into that with the chancellor and through the report. I don't want to dive deep into it, but it was a very positive report. The second piece I want to do is the way we got there. It is a committee. We have a committee for evaluation. We kind of start there, but then I want to bring in all the trustees. I don't think it should be just something that myself and the committee puts together. So we opened it up to all the trustees to provide any feedback that they wanted to provide, and we put it right into the report. And it was very positive. The folks we got, and we put it in there, and we attribute it to the trustee to make sure that PASHE understood our feelings and our thoughts. And I believe that the chancellor was felt really good about it. Again, it was a very positive report, really talking about the challenges, how we're overcoming them. And the last piece is really that President Anderson is focused on a student-centered organization, and that's what we're here for. And he made it very clear over the past while he's been here, and everything is really focused back on that. So, Chair Dunbar, that's really all I had. I think it was very positive. I appreciate everyone. I appreciate the committee for helping and pulling this all together, and I think that's all I have.
Thank you so much, Chair Weaver. Note that we had a meeting with the chancellor on the president's report. And during that time, the chancellor indicated that not only was this the best president's report he had ever seen, it was the most well-written. So that's due kudos to our trustee, Neil Weaver, who prepared the report, and for our president, who rendered performance that encouraged the chancellor to say that. Now, we all know the chancellor's only been the chancellor for a brief amount of time, but he himself was a president, so he has seen a number of presidential reports. So we'll now move to the public comments. Rachel, do we have any public comments listed?
We do not.
Thank you. We'll move forward to ABSCUF. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to local ABSCUF representatives from each campus. Joining us today are Dr. Mario Meissen from Penn West Cal, Dr. Mark Kilwine from Penn West Clarion, and apologies that Dr. Sam Classer is not present from Penn West Edinburgh, but someone else will be here to make those reports. So on behalf of Penn West ABSCUF, I invite Dr. Meissen to speak, followed by Dr. Kilwine, and then by Dr. Mario.
Thank you. Dear Council of Trustees, members of administration, faculty, staff, and guests, My name is Mario Maitzen, and I serve as the APSCF California Chapter President. I'm here today on behalf of the faculty to address two interconnected issues that directly affect our ability to fulfill university's mission: inadequate technology infrastructure and the proposed redesign of academic array. First, the technology. Across classrooms, laboratories, and offices, our faculty and students are working with systems that are outdated, sometimes unreliable, or sufficiently supported. Our learning management platforms are unstable. Classroom technology fails during instruction, especially in distance delivery. Course research and administrative software lags behind other educational institutions. These deficiencies are not inconveniences. They erode instructional quality, they impede research productivity, and place additional uncompensated burdens on faculty time. Most importantly, they disadvantage our students, who reasonably expect a modern learning environment that prepares them for contemporary professional and academic demands. The second issue that I want to talk about is the current redesign of the academic array. Faculty understand the fiscal and enrollment pressure that drive this conversation. That is, as management introduced this as a financial necessity, and we agree that thoughtful planning is necessary. However, decisions about academic programs must be data-informed, mission-driven, and meaningfully shaped by faculty expertise. Some of that has happened, but also to date, many faculty experience this process as rushed and opaque, with insufficient clarity about criteria, financial impacts, and long-term academic consequences. An academic array is not merely a budgetary structure. It is the intellectual core of the institution and the promise, a promise that we make to students and to the public that we serve. These two issues are inseparable. You cannot responsibly redesign academic offerings without investing in the technological capacity required to deliver them effectively. Nor can you expect innovation and adaptability from faculty without the tools and governance processes that enable success. We ask the Council of Trustees to commit to three principles: sustained investment in instructional technology, transparent shared governance in academic array decisions, and a clear articulation how these choices advance universities' long-term academic integrity. Our faculty stand ready to partner with you, and with collaboration, not austerity alone, we can strengthen this institution for the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Meissen. I'll next call on Dr. Kilwine.
Thank you. I'm going to start with my own comments, and then I am going to read Dr. Claster's on behalf of Edinburgh APSCF. I want to introduce myself, as this is my first address to the Council. I'm a professor of psychology at the Clarion campus of Penn West. I was a professor of rehabilitative sciences for 26 years at Clarion University. I'm a clinical psychologist by training who worked in the areas of addiction and mental health at the Pittsburgh VA hospital before I came to Clarion. I've also served for 12 years as APSCF grievance chair at Clarion University and the Clarion campus. I was the state APSCF grievance chair and the APSCF VP for Clarion University and at Clarion campus before being elected newly and starting in June as chapter president. I also want you to know on a personal level, I was excited to send both of my sons to Clarion University of Pennsylvania. I would be proud to send them again to Pennsylvania Western University at Clarion campus. Their time spent in Clarion was transformative. They received an excellent education in a safe environment and a charming environment. You know, from the front of the classroom where we stand as professors, we see how the students treat each other. And I was immediately struck by the civility and the kindness between students and the overall positive learning environment at Clarion, and that continues. The faculty I represent are humbled by the hard work of our colleagues. You know, when I hear Dr. Anderson talk about the staff and the Senate that he's putting together. I love it because it's going to get, well, it's going to integrate people from different areas, which is an important part of building the identity of Pennsylvania Western University. I noticed the custodians, the office managers, the student support staff, the accountants, the managers in technical support are all passionate about what they're doing, and they're all going the extra mile to serve students and make this a positive place. I'd like to share with you guys a brief summary of what some of the things that my Clarion-Apscuff colleagues are looking for from Pennsylvania Western University at this time. First of all, we want for Clarion campus to maintain its position as an equal among three. It's essential that the academic array for Penn West maintains a critical mass of programs and faculty at the Clarion campus because we are the smallest campus and the most vulnerable to coming up short. And there's always a risk of a downward spiral if we start to lose too many faculty from the smallest campus. There's just not the resiliency that one would expect at a campus with a larger faculty complement. We hope that new and replacement faculty positions at Penn West in general occur so that we grow into new exciting areas that will attract students. But again, the faculty I represent are concerned about faculty being hired and faculty levels being maintained at the Clarion campus. We want conscientious adherence to the collective bargaining agreement. We feel positive about management's approach to the Meet and Discuss program. That's something I can report to you, the council, that is working well. The lines of communication are open, in my experience, between managers, particularly the president and the provost, and Apscuff. And that's something that we very much appreciate. And it's something that makes it easier for us to participate in solutions, or in some cases, to stopping problems before they can even begin. We want open two-way communication with our administration. That includes not just the management of Penn West, but also with PASHE. We welcome the Chancellor's visit to campus and remain optimistic that solutions to our unique problems at Penn West and a Commonwealth will be taken seriously at the state level. We want open communication with Penn West with all university stakeholders, including other union members, student organizations, management, and including by management, not just academic affairs, which I said is already in a good place, but with management in other areas, student affairs. I think in terms of being in psychology, previously in rehabilitative sciences, the opportunity for synergies and coordination between student affairs, getting students hooked up with field placements, internships, that kind of thing, serves the community, and it's better done with more people pitching in. We want to, let's see. We want a voice in the direction of the university before decisions are made. And in this in particular, I'm talking about the program array. There were long periods of holding patterns where we were waiting to hear in sort of a top-down process. We were going to our chairs, going to our deans, and we were waiting to see what was going to come down. Now, yes, there was an opportunity for discussion afterward, but again, afterward, the decisions were already made. We see ourselves as experts in the process. We believe that we should, at the very least, be participating as equal members, equally vested stakeholders in the academic array, in the academic programming. And we, in some cases, and again, in talking to the faculty that I work with, in some cases, that was not the case. It was hard to get answers. And it was frustratingly hard to get answers from our deans. Along the same lines, we would like to see, and again, I know this isn't a criticism of Penn West management because these steps are being taken, but the consolidation procedure was disruptive. It was traumatic. It led to massive changes, disruption, and it hurt our student enrollments. We would like to be involved in, we would like to have a better sense of where Penn West is going to be in the coming days. We look forward to the fact that we're doing job searches for deans. We would like to see words like interim and acting removed from the titles of deans and the provost, and have people that we know are going to be long-term partners that are invested in that role over a longer period of time. So again, that's less of a complaint. It's more of an observation because we are moving in the right direction, but that work needs to continue in order for faculty to feel more secure in not only that, more informed about where exactly we're headed. Lastly, I want to just say, as the new guy at the chapter presidents meetings with Mario and Sam, I can tell you, the council, that the current arrangement of having 3 separate chapter presidents for the 3 separate campuses is working well. I think there's a number of areas where Penn West is leading compared to Commonwealth. There isn't competition between Mario, Sam, and I. We're part of the same team. And I want to credit Joyce Overly because they're the ones that put this together. They're the ones that did a lot of heavy lifting on getting the hard work done of forming the policies and things that have to be in place for APSCUF to be able to be a participant in shared governance. So I am grateful to them. And that concludes my remarks.
Thanks, Dr. Kilwine, for your remarks and also for self-identifying. I can tell you that I echo your sentiment about the Clarion campus, but if you asked each trustee that are on this call and that belong to our university, Penn West, we would all say the same about our respective campuses. So thank you for that.
Oh, I'm well aware of that. And let me say that I care deeply about every faculty member at Edinboro campus. I know that Sam and Mario care deeply about that's not, those comments are mostly directed just at the fact that it's an insecurity maybe, or it's a concern on the part of the faculty at Clarion that we're smaller and that we are less able to withstand losses or attrition in some cases in order to still have a destination campus in Clarion, Pennsylvania.
Thank you, Dr. Kilwine. I understand your concern.
And thank you. So speaking now on behalf of Sam, members of the Council of Trustees, first, I would like to apologize to Mark Kilwine for having to read all this. I truly tried to keep it short and to no avail. It has been nearly 4 years since the beginning of the integration of Pennsylvania Western University. In that time, faculty, staff, administrators, trustees, alumni, and students worked tirelessly to build something new, something resilient, innovative, and worthy of the students we continue to serve. We have done our part. We all know we were given neither the proper timeline nor the financial support nor at the onset of this project. Yet we have all locked arms and persisted nonetheless. We have all worked to transform this institution into the place our students need it to be. But we need support from the legislature who passed Act 50 with haste. Last fall, I addressed my Penn West Edinboro colleagues amidst yet another academic curriculum review process. I empathized with what they were feeling, which is a perpetual state of change and instability. I told them this whole experience is like being in the Bill Murray movie Groundhog Day, and we just can't seem to get out of it. And here we are, not even February 2nd, and I've already seen my shadow because I've seen this movie. The faculty are yet again starting the spring semester with a massive lift in terms of curricular work, all while doing our day-to-day work with students and dealing with all other changes. We are still adjusting through this process. But we need to wake up from this way of being a university in crisis. It's time to settle. It's time to wake up in Western Pennsylvania with the snow gone and that gosh darn Sonny and Cher song not playing on the radio. It's time to move forward. There are 2 major barriers that I see as continuing to impede change at Penn West, and of course they have purse strings. We are genuinely grateful for the continued support from the governor's office and for the advocacy of the Board of Governors in helping us try to make do given the immediate challenges we face upon integration. That support has mattered and it has had real impact. I know that the university presidents and governors understand the need to reevaluate our funding formula, and certainly I hope equity in relation to the consolidated schools is borne out through the process. But in lieu of increased appropriations this year, Pennsylvania Western University and Commonwealth University need more advocacy than ever because we need more targeted investments. Our president and provost are moving forward with a series of curricular change recommendations, which will culminate in a new academic array, built to serve students on 3 campuses and online. But to do this, we need an investment in technology and training. This is the first barrier I see. This support was not identified from the outset, and the urgency of our need has not been clearer than it is today. We need to ensure that our faculty and students can thrive in modern learning environments. The second barrier I see is the ability to truly invest in new growth areas. While there's some strong and sound plans to grow in some new directions, we need more. We need an appropriation which is designated for the sole purpose of building new academic programs by investing in new faculty lines and new state-of-the-art equipment so that we may attract new students and properly serve the needs of the workforce in Western Pennsylvania. Growth only happens with investment, and without it, we are doomed to continual contraction. We will continue to open our eyes to the same day, the same place, and the same feeling of disenfranchisement. No more shadows. This is what we need to continue to restore life to our campuses, innovation to our mission, and confidence in our future. Trustees, I truly believe that we stand at an inflection point. So APSCUF is asking you all to take up the torch and to advocate for us with us, to use every connection you have, to talk with members of the General Assembly and members of the Board of Governors, to advocate for an equitable funding and target investments in technology and new program development for our consolidated universities. Thank you, and thank you to Mark Kilwine for delivering the words on my behalf and on behalf of Edinboro APSCUF.
We thank you for delivering the report of Dr. Claster. Thank you, Dr. Kilwine.
You're welcome.
At this time, we would like to welcome Penn West Faculty Senate co-chairs. Joining us today are Dr. Jamie Phillips from Penn West Clarion, Dr. Peter Kashinikoff from Penn West Edinboro, and Dr. Robin Weaver from Penn West Cal. Dr. Phillips, Jamie, would you like to
Hello,
start?
everyone. Good afternoon. I apologize for the light in my office. It's very dramatic, as is the wind outside. And I will be speaking on behalf of all three of the Faculty Senate chairs. We'll be starting up again on Monday with our first executive committee meeting. Then we'll start again on February the 2nd and it will be Groundhog Day for our first Faculty Senate meeting of the academic year. We've been doing things involving cleaning up our processes, trying to make our meetings a little more streamlined. We have a lot of attendees at our Faculty Senate meeting, which is a good thing, and we don't want to waste their time. So we're trying to find ways to make sure that our committee reports get done more quickly and that we can save time for discussions about policy changes. We're also trying to work with the president and trying to find ways to make the Faculty Senate or its appointment process more functional. That is, as he's generated some task force, we've had people from those task force come speak with us. We're working with him and look forward to working with him on his proposed Penn West Coordinating Council with new task force that are going to be more operationally defined and that are going to be more functional in terms of their day-to-day activities, as well as allowing Faculty Senate to be a policy body for recommendation. This semester is going to be a fairly active one because of things happening with the program array, which though they're tangential to us, we have say over general education, and general education changes will be coming to augment and be as corollaries to those changes. So much of what we'll be doing this semester will be discussing what will be undoubtedly some fairly significant changes to our general education program, which will be put through the curriculum process as well. And that will be the end of my report.
Thank you, Dr. Phillips. Appreciate your time. We'll now move to remarks by student trustees and student government. We'll hear from our Penn West student trustees and the government representatives, and joining us from Penn West Clarion are Timothy John and student government president Bethany Morrow. So could we start with you, trustee Tim?
Yes. Hello, everyone. It is my pleasure to report on behalf of my peers at the Clarion campus. And I will say, Dr. Kilwine, just to come back to what you said, as a student that currently goes to Penn West Clarion, I can attest to the fact that we still have a really welcoming campus, and my 2.5 years has been pleasant, if not more than that, and I've learned a lot in this campus. To continue, it's great to be back and nice to see everyone out and about, even in this weather. These past few months have been a good time to be a part of Penn West. There's been a lot more cohesion and clearer communication of who we are and where our goals are for the future. As students across 3 campuses, we have the ability to work together as one unit through clubs, organizations, and university-facilitated activities, such as sporting events, concerts, and events like the Autumn Leaf Festival. Fall of 2025 hosted a variety of events to build community and belonging for the new freshman class and all the upperclassmen. The University Activities Board hosted multiple bingos with numbers close to 300, karaoke nights with a queue that lasted for hours, paint and sip events to unwind and get creative, laser tag to bring out the strategist, a Lego night that was sold out, and so much more. There has been increased participation in club volleyball and basketball. The rec center hosts Zumba classes on the regular, pickleball tournaments, and a variety of sporting events to promote health and wellness in our campus. Recently, we reestablished Eagle Ambassadors to promote the Penn West spirit, campus culture, and serve as the official voice of our students. This program allows students to represent Penn West Clarion by sharing their experiences through social media, campus tours, panels, and outreach events hosted by the university. In the past few months, we were proud to host the statewide PASHE conference at the Clarion campus, which invited educators, administrators, and students from across the state. This event was well attended and helped us further show the power of Penn West, since we were able to use our people from 3 campuses to make it a successful event. The conference ended with an award ceremony and a research poster presentation led by students, with many that were part of Clarion campus. I would love to give you all the details about our sports teams, but I will save it for Jim Geiger. Although I will say that it was a proud moment when our women's soccer team went to the playoffs for the first time. As for the next few months, we are actively working on the search for the next student trustee of the Clarion campus. The application is set to close on the 30th of January, after which we will begin the interview process and make the recommendation. We are excited to continue planning the relocation of the Student Center. The staff and administration are actively taking student feedback in every step to make this move seamless and beneficial to students. We are excited to see all the reaction of our brand new campaign and how the Penn West narrative is resonating with our audience. If you haven't seen it, please check it out on our social media. Finally, we are excited to host a polar plunge on the 20th of February to fundraise for the Special Olympics at Clarion. For the record, I will be present and ready to plunge. I think they're bringing a contraption where we'd be able to get into. I think it's like they have a whole setup. And then with that, I'd like to turn your attention to the Clarion Student Center President, Bethany Morrow, for her report. Bethany.
Thank you, Tim. Trustee.
Thank you, Tim. Last semester was very successful and really showed just how involved and engaged students are on campus. The Student Senate hosted a series of fundraisers to afford the expenses planned for this academic year. This included a bake sale fundraiser that had great participation. It was especially exciting to see President Anderson stop by and make a donation and spend time with our senators. This was followed by a football fundraiser and helped us make connections and welcome guests to our game. As part of this incentive, we hosted a fundraiser at Panera Bread, since that had just opened in Clarion and the students in the community seemed to love it. This fundraiser created a lot of excitement, drew strong student involvement, and was a great way for the Student Senate to connect with students while supporting a new and highly anticipated business in the community. There were a number of events that made an impact in our campus community, starting with Veterans Day, as it was recognized with an 8 a.m. flag raising, followed by a breakfast hosted by the Veterans Club that included veteran speakers. Later in the semester, the Student Senate Integrity Awards was successful in a meaningful way to recognize students and faculty who consistently go above and beyond. WinGo had a great turnout and brought a lot of students together in a fun and positive environment, helping to strengthen a sense of community on campus. To close out the semester, Late Night Breakfast had a large turnout and served as another venue to bring students together and end the semester on a positive note. Throughout the semester, Senate was involved in service and bonding activities, including participating in the Angel Tree to support Charlie, a 9-year-old child, where senators came together to wrap gifts, as well as decorating the dining hall Christmas tree and spending time together at the arcade afterward. Many senators are involved in Serve Penn West Clarion, a service-based student organization founded in fall of 2025 that has participated in the homecoming parade, volunteered at a local nursing home, supported a local business, Deja Me on Main, and plans to assist with the Special Olympics Polar Plunge later in the semester. The Student Senate Executive Board met with Dining Services, where student feedback was considered and meaningful changes were made. Overall, Student Senate and the House of Representatives are working with the bylaws in preparation for upcoming Senate elections. And because of the positive impact in our students' community, there's a lot of excitement heading into this semester with students motivated, involved, and ready to keep building on our success. Thank you. That is the end of my report.
Thank you for serving in student government. Bethany, what's your major?
BSN nursing major.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for your report. I'd now like to say that from Edinburgh, Trustee Aidan Dugan is going to give both reports, both on behalf of being a trustee and behalf of student government. Thank you, Trustee Aidan.
Thank you, Chair Dunbar. I very much appreciate it. Can everyone hear me okay? We're good?
I think so, sir.
It's great to be back with all of you. I know the Zoom is a little odd because we're not in person, but I'm just happy to have all of you here. And a lot has happened on our borough campus, so I will try and be as quick as I can. Luckily, Ruthie and I had pretty much everything the same on our reports, so we were able to just combine it, which is good. So we last met on September 25th. The big thing that happened right after that was our homecoming parade. It was a huge success. Ruthie, actually our SGA president, ran on the court. So that was really, really cool. And it was so wonderful to have the alumni back during our homecoming. Obviously, through integration, I think all three of our schools have struggled a little bit to have that involvement from our alumni just in the support of it. But this year, I feel like it was unreal. I've talked to Amanda Sissom about it quite frequently, and it was just so wonderful to have our alumni just so engaged this year. And it was just very, very happy to see all the plaid, the Royal Stewart plaid all across Edinburgh. It was great. And it was wonderful to see our Edinburgh Fighting Scots upset the Cal Vulcans. That was just felt very good about that. Shout out to Tyreek there. In October, I also had the opportunity to have a lunch and give Chancellor Fiorentino a tour around our campus. It was a great, loved it. Sorry. And then back on speaking on football, we finished with a 7-4 record, and we're co-champions of the PSAC West, which was fantastic. And I was very happy to have that. It's a great program on our campus, and students are ecstatic for next season. And we're excited to be welcoming in interim head coach Eric Crandall, who led an outstanding defense last year. And I'm just super excited to see what he does this year as our interim head coach. I want to give a congratulations to our new head tennis coach, Lewis Murphy, who is like I said, our new tennis coach for the men's and women's team. It is really exciting stuff to be bringing him in. He is an alumni here, so it's awesome to be having him on our campus again. And I also just want to serve a congratulations to Tyreek, who won Homecoming King down at Cal. So Tyreek, a huge congratulations to you, my friend. It was definitely deserved, and I'm very happy for you. Next was our Veterans Day breakfast. On November 11th, we held our Veterans Day breakfast, which was so wonderful. I had the honor to sing the national anthem for it in the morning, but my favorite part was hearing Trustee Mark Bellini speak. I loved every second of it. He had my attention. I can't remember the last time that I didn't look at my phone during a speech and got, in person. It was just wonderful. So Trustee Bellini, I just want to say again, I absolutely loved every second of it. So thank you for speaking. On November 13th, we held our choir concert here on campus. A huge thank you to President Anderson who attended. It was a lot of fun. It was a great set, so we were happy to have a good crowd out for that. Just a little bit of a personal thing here. On November 22nd, I had the amazing honor to sing the national anthem at a Pittsburgh Penguins game with 3 fellow Penn West students. It was such a surreal experience. Unfortunately, the Penguins couldn't get the win, but I didn't care at all. It was just such a surreal experience. We were put in the Lemieux room, which was insane. That tells you how awesome they treated us. They gave us an awesome sweatshirt out of it, and it was just the coolest thing ever. So I don't think I will ever experience anything cool like that until my wedding in August, and then that'll be the coolest thing I've gone through. The winter gathering we held on December 4th, and that was for our faculty and staff. I got to attend that alongside Trustee Danny Jones, and being able just to honor those faculty and staff was wonderful. And I have to say, if you haven't had the bacon wrapped dates from API, I recommend it. Boy, howdy, were they fantastic. I loved eating those. And then obviously that brings us to our commencement weekend, where on the 12th, we had a fair and food gathering for the outgoing seniors. It was fun to be able to help them get ready for their big day. Prior to that, I was able to attend with Rachel Schofield to the ROTC commissioning, and also Trustee Bellini spoke there, and that was just an unreal event that I was so thankful to be a part of, and I was just so glad to attend as a student to be able to see that, and it was so fantastic to see that. And then on the 13th, we held our official graduation ceremony, where about 900 students graduated across Penn West. Here at Borough, we graduated 110, so that was wonderful to see. And then other cool things that kind of happened over the break. I was able to give tours to our candidates for the Vice President of Financial and Administration CFO position, so I got to meet some pretty cool people through that. And then I started announcing for our men's and women's basketball teams on campus on the radio. So that's been a lot of fun to do. And that ended up spiraling into starting my own radio show myself. So if any of you are on the road from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. on a Monday or a Friday, you can tune into my radio show, Boy Howdy, where we talk sports in the morning. It's called Boy Howdy because that's my famous catchphrase, and it is starting to catch on with the students and the fans that attend. So hopefully that continues to go. And then the last thing I have is I am running the concert committee this spring. So we bring in an artist to come perform here at all three of our campus usually. And I have the honor of being able to run that for the next couple of years. So that's a lot of fun. And we get to use our Lewis C. Cole Auditorium this year, which is not a building that I feel we use enough on our campus. So I'm very, very excited to bring that in to our use on campus. So thank you so much for listening to my long report. Chair Dunbar, back to you.
There's a lot of information in that report, Trustee Aiden. Perhaps you can sing the anthem or something for us. And perhaps before he graduates, Tim can play so that we can hear both of our trustee skills on that one. Now to our next skilled trustee, Trustee Tyreek Whitson with the California report. And he will be followed up by Student Government President Caitlin Egan.
Thank you so much, Chair Dunbar. Hello, everyone. Very excited to be back here today, and very excited to welcome back many students to the California campus this past weekend. On Sunday night, the Student Activities Board hosted Welcome Back Bingo with many baskets worth hundreds of dollars each, probably, per usual, which had over 100 students attend, and we look forward to another semester filled with continued improvement and involvement on campus. Speaking of some of those events happening this semester, we are very much looking forward to the big event, which is hosted by Student Government Association, and it will be occurring on Saturday, March 28th. Each year, this big event serves as a time for students to really give back to the campus community, not only the California community, but also surrounding Brownsville and Washington overall. Last year, we helped over 35 sites. I think we may have ended up towards 40, and we had over 300 students who participated. That includes over 30 clubs, organizations, and sports teams. So we look forward to that this year as well. Student government will also be hosting with the Carroll Alumni House a student and alumni night here on the California campus. This will be occurring on Wednesday, April 1st, and will be a time for students to, of all class levels, to engage and network with alumni in different fields such as business, education, and government. So we're looking forward to that as well. The Student Activities Board here at California are also, such as Clarion, working on their annual concert this year. More information will be coming very soon as they get the artists and everyone else booked. Some other things we're looking forward to include a career fair hosted by the Career Center. So a lot of work that's been done with student government, student leaders all across campus in a career center, which has showed that we are really wanting a career fair, and we're really ready to host one here on campus. So we're looking forward to that sometime in the middle of the semester. Hop and Stop and a Drag Show Bingo hosted by Rainbow Alliance, which we're going to see happen very soon. And then also Parent Family Weekend happening April 4th to April 6th. So we are very excited to see some of our family supporters come out and support some of their students here on campus, as well as some of the events we may host that weekend. Multiple theater productions as they showcase the shows Into the Woods and The White Rose in the Steel Hall. And last but not least, we are very much excited to welcome the new students at our multiple admitted students days throughout the semester. So we can't wait to see those new students come experience campus, meet some student leaders, and get ready to come in next year. As for something that has been discussed a lot this semester and over the past few months, and is a student concern here on campus, we talked about the academic array process. And you'll hear today as well, many students have expressed concerns in the areas of visual performing arts. These continuing conversations are going to be had with these students, and there are multiple open forums for students to express their concerns. Still, I do have hope in the university, and as we continue to be proactive and transparent with the student body on the next steps of this process and many other processes to come up. With that being said, it is great to know that the university is hearing the concerns that we may have and continue to work with our student leaders on how to address them. And lastly, I would also like to express immense gratitude to Kelly Rapinski and her marketing team for the work that they've been doing on the Within Reach campaign. You will hear from them later on this, but I do wanted to note that this process has been open for a very long time. Students have expressed for a long time that we want to see more from the marketing team, we want to see more come out. This is exactly what they're doing with the Within Reach campaign. So I'm excited for you all to see what they're doing, and I'm excited for what this means for the future of Penn West overall. So thank you, and can't wait to see how it plays out. Now, I'd like to pass it along to Caitlin Egan, our Student Government President here at the California campus.
Hi, everyone. My name is Caitlin. I am the new Student Government President for the California campus. Just to kind of touch base, last semester we had a great, amazing semester. We just brought in 2 new clubs officially. We have the boxing club and our Muslim Student Association. We also hosted multiple events throughout the campus. Just as student government, we worked with Student Activities Board as well and got a lot of student engagement through that. We had a very successful Sol Week with a lot of student engagement involved, along with one of our most popular events being the AVI Hot Ones, which is pretty much like a hot wings competition where students can come and then also express their concerns to AVI or get any questions answered. Our senators started working on different events that Tyreek had mentioned before. We started planning out the career fair, which is going to happen this semester, along with the start of the planning of the alumni night, which is also happening in April 1st. We, as student governments across Penn West, have been working on getting through the new student government constitution, which looks like that's going to officially be put in soon. And then we also hosted different things like Toys for Tots, where we went out and collected toys and donated it to the community, and had multiple events where a lot of students were just able to come and be involved on campus. We also obviously had a big change, which was our change to our e-board. The biggest change is that the president last semester, Sydney Cochran, accepted a full-time position with Duquesne University. And even though she's still a grad student at Penn West, she just would not have enough time to do both. So I was originally the financial secretary. However, now I was appointed president. Our vice president is still Tyreek. Our new financial secretary is one of our amazing senators, Emily Sherman, who she helped with so much throughout, so she definitely earned that position. And then we still have our recording secretary as Morgan McClurg, corresponding tech secretary as Taylor Fullerton, and we also are starting with our new constitution. We have a position of parliamentarian. Our committee chair for Rules and Internal Affairs, Erica Shantz, was appointed for the parliamentarian position, and she is starting that this semester. So we're all very excited for that. We have a crazy semester planned already, with a lot of things in mind. Like I said before, the career fair, the alumni night, Tyreek had mentioned the big event. Those are all led by student government. We also are planning out Sol Week right now, which is our Student Appreciation Week, and we have a lot of events where we're engaging with students already planned, and it's not until April. That will lead into Parent Family Weekend, where we are planning on hosting multiple events and getting our name out there as well. There's other events going on campus that students love that student government is also being a part of, which is Walk a Mile, which is a domestic violence awareness event, where all the men go and all like the sports clubs and all that will come and they will walk around campus in heels for a great amount of time. That's one of our favorite events that we do. We also have the concert coming up. A lot of people are excited to hear about that. And yeah, we have a lot of events where we're getting student engagement in. The biggest goal I would say for us this semester is mainly just getting more student outreach. We really want the students to feel comfortable to coming to us as much as we're happy that there's not a lot of complaints or things to worry about. There's also a point where we need to start engaging with students more and creating more connections, and that's one of our main goals. So we're doing that through social media. We're gonna plan on hosting more campus events and all around just learning and engaging more with our campus community so our students know more about us and also are not afraid to come to us if there is an issue going on. But other than that, I'm very excited for this semester. It's my last semester, so it's very exciting to be in this role. And yeah, that's all I have. That's my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin, for your student government report, and for Trustee Tyreek for your student government report, both robust reports. We're now going to move on to a report from the PACT representative. That person is Trustee General Mark Bellini. It was good to hear Aiden refer to you as a speaker, Mark, a couple of times in his report, and he even reported his impact to your public speaking. So the floor is yours, sir.
I think Aiden's just too kind of a gentleman. But thank you, Aiden. On the PAC report, I have several issues to bring up. Next week is a busy week for PACT. On the 28th at 10 o'clock, there's a PACT-wide quarterly meeting, and that's all of the trustees across PASHE are invited. It's at 10 o'clock, and it's via Zoom. The following day at 8 o'clock in the morning on the 29th, there's a special meeting with the COT chairs as well as the PACT representatives. And as you know, there's 14 PACT representatives, 3 in Commonwealth, 3 from Penn West, and of course, every other school has a rep. So that's a total of 24 invitees. And that session is basically going to be held by our chancellor. And we're looking forward to that hour. On February 9th, another event with the chancellor. And this one's for only trustees who are students. They've been invited to participate at 2 o'clock on a Zoom, so where the chancellor can have time just with the trustees who are students. April 15th and 16th is the planned dates. That may change, but it's the planned dates for the Board of Governors meeting. And that will also we'll also have a PACT meeting, which is going to be a hybrid one this year in April. And you can either participate by Zoom or you can show up in person. There'll be more details about that to follow, and especially after we have the conversation with the chancellor. In April at that meeting, there will also be the annual elections. And so you may get some solicitations about your opinions about if you want to consider running for the PACT board. There's 5 positions, and several of them are term limited, including mine, the president's. So we'll be seeking replacements for those positions. That's all I have for PACT. Thank you.
Thank you for your report, Trustee Mark. We'll now move to the consent agenda. The consent agenda items will be considered in one motion unless a member wishes to have an item removed for individual discussion. Is there anyone who wishes to have a single item in the consent agenda removed? the consent agenda of the minutes of the regular meeting of September 25th, 2025, and the proposed 2027 Council of Trustees calendar. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved. Second.
Second, Larry Maggi.
Who was the first?
Pat.
Pat.
Thank you.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion on the motion? Rachel, can you please take a roll call vote? I think you require it.
Yes, thank you. Trustee Bellini,
Aye.
Trustee Dugan,
Aye.
Trustee Dunbar,
Aye.
Trustee Jones,
Yes.
Trustee John.
Aye.
Trustee Kennedy,
Yes.
Trustee Logue. You need to unmute. I can see her there. Okay, we'll pass. Trustee Maggi,
Yes.
Trustee Nikolai,
Yes.
Trustee Oberlander,
Yes.
Trustee Pape,
Yes.
Trustee Pickett,
Yes.
Trustee Weaver. Is he here? No. Trustee Whitson.
Yes.
Thank you.
Unanimous vote. The motion is carried.
Yes, thank you.
Next up is the Communication and Marketing Committee. We've already had a promo for this committee. We're going to hear from the Communication and Marketing team, which can be found on page 18 in case trustees are following the board packet. Committee Chair, Trustee Magi, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Communications and Marketing Committee met on January 7th, and we had a productive discussion and several exciting initiatives. We reviewed fall media outcomes and recent news, explored updates to the University Magazine, and highlighted the Power of Penn West podcast. And we talked a little bit about the launch of our new brand campaign. These efforts reflect our ongoing commitment to strengthening Penn West's presence and storytelling. And with that, I'm pleased to turn it over to the Vice President Rapinski for the University Communications and Marketing Report.
Great, thank you, Trustee Maggi. Next slide. Good afternoon, trustees. Our fall semester was a busy and productive one for University Communications and Marketing, and I'm really excited to share a few highlights and also talk about the new campaign. The slide in front of you provides an overview of just some key metrics across the entire Communications and Marketing division. We continue to see very strong growth in our earned media. On the column on the left, that is a highlight of our news mentions, audience reach, and social shares, which all continue to see growth. One metric I'd like to highlight is the 110K in advertising equivalency. This represents the estimated cost Penn West would have had to incur to purchase the same level of exposure through paid advertising that we're getting through earned media. So that is always a number that I like to highlight. University storytelling remains a core focus of our work. Through the Penn West news page and the Penn West Weekly, which many of you receive, we continue to highlight the experiences and achievements of our students, alumni, our faculty, and our staff. During the fall semester, we collaborated across our campuses to publish 68 online news stories, and that generated more than 72,000 total page views on our Penn West news page. Much of that traffic comes from the people of Penn West and also the Penn West Weekly newsletter that goes out every Thursday during the academic semester. You'll see that we're seeing consistently strong engagement rates and organic views. What this basically tells us is that readers are not just reading the one individual story that they came on the page to read, but they're seeing other content on the page, they're spending more time on the Penn West website, and then they're clicking through additional content across that site. Finally, our creative services team provided extensive project support across the university. They completed almost 300 projects, primarily in design and video projects that support our academic units, enrollment efforts, and institutional priorities. Next slide. This week, we're very, very excited. We have officially launched our evolved brand, a redesigned website experience, and our new marketing campaign Within Reach. Within Reach truly reflects Penn West's evolution as a unified multi-campus university, and it really enforces our commitment to helping students connect their education with purpose and career outcomes. The brand strategy is intentionally aligned with Penn West's academic direction, emphasizing clear pathways, flexibility, and practical preparation. We are just so incredibly proud of what this moment represents. When you look at the campaign, you see the brand video, you see the website, the imagery. The Within Reach campaign truly reflects who Penn West is today. We're student-centered, we're opportunity-driven, and we're focused on access, relevance, and impact. Within Reach captures what defines Penn West. We are practical, we have a community, we're resilient, and we believe in empowerment. And the new website helps to bring that story to life with greater clarity, consistency, and accessibility for every audience we serve. This is not just a communications and marketing achievement. This is a shared achievement and an important foundation for what comes next as we continue to support enrollment, academic priorities, and long-term institutional growth. What you've seen today, not just today on the screen, but what's been rolled out this week and you'll continue to see across different communication channels, it reflects more than a year of thoughtful strategy, collaboration, and care, not only by leadership and the communication team, but by partners all across Penn West. I especially want to thank the incredibly talented individuals who worked behind the scenes over the past 18 months to bring this brand platform and Within Reach campaign together. And there's a few folks that I just want to mention, Chair Dunbar, if that's okay, take a moment to recognize these folks.
Please, sure, do that.
Jason Warwe and Information Technology Services. He enabled us to leverage Microsoft 365 tools and embed the brand into our platforms so our stakeholders can use the tools every day. Our incredibly talented marketing team led by Jeff Bender and includes John Altoff and Chris LaFuria. The new website, all of this is the work of Chris Loveland, Aaron Angadi, Rebecca Bailey, and Sue Holman. Our wonderfully talented creative services team led by Bill Berker and includes Greg Sofranco, Zach Friley, Phil Hargos, Brian Postlewhite, Deb Henry, and Brooke Mays. And then to support all of this and help roll this out, we have our public relations and storytelling team, which is Wendy Mackel, Kristen Brockett, and Tina Clark. Behind the scenes, Jordan McMillan, our project specialist extraordinaire, she managed all the contracts, the vendor coordination for all the wayfinding, the billboards, the signage that's been updated, and also kept us on track with the budgets. And finally, Rachel Schofield, who is with us today here on Zoom. Rachel really keeps our team organized. She wears many hats. She coordinated all of the planning sessions, the focus groups, all the meetings that we had throughout the last 18 months. And she's working hard now to schedule our onboarding and training sessions. This process from the brand strategy to the rollout and the message design, all the implementation is made of these folks who made this possible. But we're also deeply grateful to the students, the faculty, staff, trustees, alumni, and foundation board members whose feedback throughout this process helped ensure that this brand is both authentic to who we are today and forward-looking for where Penn West is headed. I encourage everyone, you can go to pennwest.edu/brand, check out the new campaign, check out the new website. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Trustees, questions or comments for VP Kelly? I can say, Kelly, that when I saw the first ad Within Reach, and the people that were on Larry's committee know this, I had tears in my eyes. I was so filled with joy. So thank you. Thank you.
You're most welcome. And those are all our students. Someone asked me that. Is that our students? Everything that you see in that video, it was shot on our campuses. It's our faculty, our staff, and our students. And I think that's what makes it really, really authentic.
It sings. It totally sings. Next up is the Academic Affairs Committee. And at this time, we'll hear anybody who's falling in a board packet. It's on page 29, but the committee chair, Trustee Jones, will introduce this. Danny, the
Thank you,
floor.
Chair Dunbar. The Academic Affairs and Enrollment Committee, we met on January 6th of this year and received a brief update regarding the work on Penn West mix of academic programming and the strengthening of the student academic experience. Vice President of Strategic Enrollment and Management, Darren Wagner, introduced himself to the committee, and he also provided a brief admissions update. For more information, I will now turn it over to Interim Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs, J.D. Fisher, for the Academic Affairs report.
Well, thank you, Trustee Jones, and good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. As President Anderson noted, we're doing a great deal of work to strengthen the student academic experience, and we'll continue throughout the spring semester to work closely with faculty members and engage students as we work out the final details of the academic array and focus on a smooth implementation of those changes. The goal being to rebalance, refocus, redesign, and enhance the student academic experience overall. So features of the evolved academic experience include a more streamlined design of program majors that allow for a smoother path to degree and increased flexibility to earn supplemental credentials, addition of more streamlined workforce relevant certificate options, enhancement of fun, meaningful extracurricular activities, and where it's appropriate, courses and credentials attached to those experiences, like a performing arts certificate that would recognize student participation in band, choir, or theater, easier access to a wide range of experiential learning opportunities, relevant AI literacy training, career development and support from the first moment students step onto campus till well after graduation, and enhanced support for new students to maximize their retention and overall success. I want to take a moment to express my continued gratitude for the thoughtfulness, care, and passion of our faculty colleagues and the students who have engaged the process we're undertaking actively and creatively. There's a real and reasonable stress that comes with this kind of work and some of the changes and adaptations that we plan on making. Despite that stress, overall, folks have leaned in, and I've also observed repeatedly genuine excitement about the ways that we plan to improve the student experience inside and outside the classroom. And I also appreciate the continued faculty input and focus on concrete and practical logistical issues that are directly relevant to the student experience. For example, the things that Mario and Sam and Mark have mentioned about classroom support and classroom technology. And while we spent several months engaging in this work, and it's a lot of work, and we'll continue to do that through the spring semester, our faculty and academic affairs staff, so like our colleagues in the Student Success Center, the Career Center, university libraries, just to name a few, they have continued to serve the university's mission daily through teaching, scholarship, and creative activity, advising, mentoring, and multiple forms of student support. So we have an incredibly talented, hardworking, and mission-oriented group at Penn West, and I think our students are very well served by them. We've also continued to work on other improvements in the areas of student success and career support, and we're going to be rolling out what I think are some pretty exciting initiatives in the spring semester, and I look forward to providing more details about those at the next Council of Trustees meeting. Finally, as part of the process of examining our mix of academic programming, we had an academic department in fall 2025 proactively propose 2 master's degrees for moratorium. So today I'm providing notice that those 2 master's degrees were approved for moratorium, and that's the Master's of Accountancy and the Master's degree in Corporate Communication. And with that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, JD. People will ask if we ever get our names confused. Not really, not so far. Next up, we would like to meet to some Darren Wagner, Penn West Vice President for Strategic Enrollment Management. He's going to provide an update on enrollment. For trustees looking to follow in your book, it's on page 35 in your trustee document. Welcome.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair Dunbar. For those I haven't met, it's a pleasure to meet you all. I'm now in my 2nd month here, and as I give this report, I want to thank those who preceded me because I stepped into a lot of the activity and the outcomes of what I'm going to share with you today. I'm truly excited to be here at Penn West. I love this opportunity, and I'm excited about the opportunity that exists here at Penn West. So I'll start with some, what we talk about undergraduate recruitment and events. Really, the goal that I stepped into was to increase the momentum through in-person engagement and driving momentum across all campuses. And as you can see, we've had a lot of activity. A Student for a Day event reached 200, almost 230 prospective students. And I think one of the important elements here is the 90+% satisfaction with total attendees. We're always going to strive to increase that as well. Fall open houses attracted over 340 students and approximately 900 total attendees, so students and parents and families. Clarion hosted its largest open house since integration. California and Edinburgh also exceeded 100 student attendees. We've had a large series of counselor events, college fairs, and discipline-specific programs, as well as virtual sessions that are all strengthening our regional pipeline and yield potential. Also, we're looking to build, thank you, through building our undergraduate pipeline, outreach, and pathways operations. Since August 1st, staff completed approximately 3,000 personal outreach activities through calls, texts, and emails. There have been 574 off-campus recruiting events. Now, this again is reporting, this report was put together in December, so more has happened since. Transfer team visited 30 plus community colleges, completed over 150 credit evaluations, and held over 100 virtual meetings. Dual enrollment registrations increased over 270% year over year, and we look to continue that growth. New Slate workflows, Slate's our CRM, reduced our application review time from 3 to 5 days to 1 to 2 days, so a 50% reduction. And speed to lead, speed to decision is key as we work with these students and recruit them. Under the new model, over 2,300 applications have been processed and 185 deposits have been received. This again was for spring. I think it's also important to point out we had a major spring blitz that was supported across the organization. From the graduate, next slide please, from the graduate and online enrollment area, we continue to have the great momentum. Over 3,200 new and continuing graduate and doctoral students enrolled for fall. Graduate application volume was up over 3% for spring and up 10% for fall 2026 year over year. So we're coming into the fall session with a lot of great momentum. Strategic focus remains on high demand online programs aligned with workforce and employer needs. I'd like to show you a little bit about where we stand versus our CPP goals next. Next slide, please. Now this snapshot reflects pre-census, so this is not final enrollment. And I tried to simplify this as much as possible, but I'm happy to field any questions. Official spring census occurs on February 9th, so there may be some melt in these numbers, but we have exceeded the CPP goal by about 2.5%. And again, with the recent blitz, it was undertaken by admissions, financial aid, student success teams, all aligned on recruitment and retention focused interventions. Then the last piece I want to talk to you about a little bit is financial aid, which is also under my purview. Next slide, please. The 2026-27 FAFSA opened early, allowing earlier packaging and proactive outreach. Over 3,000 students are currently loaded in Banner. We plan to continue to package these at a great rate. Penn West distributes over $3.5 million annual in institutional aid. Targeted outreach is reducing registration barriers for winter and spring terms. We're focusing on getting students packaged earlier, getting FAFSA up and completed with students, And then I think a big thing for this group would be the policies and procedures are being updated to ensure compliance with elements of the One Big Beautiful Bill, federal and state changes that will go into effect July 1, 2026. With that, that concludes my report.
Are there any questions or comments from trustees? Thank you, Darren, for such an impressive overview.
Thank you, Chair Dunbar.
We'll now move to the Student Affairs Committee with Trustee Larry Pickett and Dr. Fenske, VP. Do you want to take that, Trustee Pickett?
Yes, one moment, please. Okay, I'm sorry. I have some problems with my system here. I'm looking for my notes. Let me turn it over to Dr. Fenske, please.
Thank you, Trustee. Dr. Susan Fenske?
No problem. Thank you. I barely have any report to give that the students did not glow their way through. There can be no question. The students are engaged. But I do have a couple of really cool things that I do want to point out above and beyond their fantastic reports. They make my job easy and I love it. Wanted to touch base on some of the institutional effectiveness items. As Dr. Anderson covered in his opening remarks, we have launched several strategic task forces that this area is involved with. The first one is the Data Strategy Task Force. And then also we are working on the strategic plan. We continue to keep up with our ongoing assessment efforts for the institution and work on some other projects that happen on a every other year basis, such as the NESE report that we receive, which is the National Survey for Student Engagement, which gives us comparative data not only regionally, but also to other institutions with like demographics. Next slide, please. I think Trustee Timothy John covered our CORE update, which as a reminder, CORE is short for Community, Opportunity, Responsibility, and Engagement. And he shared information about the system summit that was hosted on the Penn West Clarion campus in October and had 730 registrants from around the system. So lots of fantastic work went into this. Great event that all of Penn West was represented in some way, shape, or form. And one of the wonderful elements to this summit is an award ceremony that is done to recognize individuals who keep the spirit of our engagement and belonging and inclusion efforts on the campus. And we had 2 students from Penn West recognized, one from California, one from Clarion, and then also Roger Wolbert, who is interim associate provost. So really wonderful representation from around Penn West. Next slide, please. A couple of items highlighted from the student affairs area that our students didn't already talk about. We have worked very hard to come up with innovative solutions for dining around our campuses, and we have expanded dining services in a way that no other PASHE system institution have. We have a meal equivalency exchange in our vending machines in specific locations, and those have been very well received and well utilized by the students. In event services, we processed over 44,000 events during the fall semester, and that can be large scale events, small scale events, meetings, gatherings of any kind. But our event services team is very busy, especially since we have 3 campuses to service. And a look back at our summer camps, we generated $264,000 in revenue through those camps and conferences. So wonderful opportunities to bring external groups into campus. I know we've talked about that at length in the past, but wanted to provide you all with a snapshot update. And our Penn West Leadership Academy continues to be very popular with the students. And we did have 113 first year and second year students go through that program this past fall. Of course, they'll have the opportunity to continue to engage in spring at some new programs. Next slide, please. The Penn West Pantry has continued to work on item donation drives as well as seeking financial assistance from others because we have identified many students who were impacted by the changes in SNAP benefits. So we want to continue to make sure our students have access to resources if they have food insecurity. The Residence Life staff implemented 748 resident programs through all of our residence halls in the fall semester. So our community assistants and our residence hall staff are very busy, and we're very proud of the connections they continue to make with the students in the residence halls. It continues to be one of the most significant retention points for our students. We have access to them in the residence halls, and we have utilized that access not only to engage them in out of classroom experiences, but also ensure that we get them registered for classes in great partnership with the student success staff. And we continue to partner with academic affairs to offer some living learning communities. And that is something that we continue to reinvigorate as there is need identified by both the faculty and the students. And so we love to do partnerships beyond just having our students come live in the residence halls. There's a great deal of programming that goes on. Counseling services provided free mental health screenings on all 3 campuses and on a regular basis. And that is something that is, again, critical to the retention of our students as we help them by supporting them in any concerns that they have, personal issues, get them routed to the right resources that we have on campus and in the community. Next slide, please. Our Office for Students with Disabilities is a very small but mighty staff, and they have assisted over 1,000 students across all 3 campuses in the fall semester. And also that includes online students as well. So we continue to accommodate our students who need additional supports. Wellness Services is continuing to work on innovative ways to serve the students. And this fall, we reopened a relaxation room at the Penn West California campus. Some days I feel like I could use a relaxation room. You probably all feel that too. But our students get to benefit greatly from those wonderful resources. And we have annually celebrated and recognized the Stories of Strength Day at the Edinboro campus. And that event is really focused on positive mental health messaging and awareness and connection to resources both on and off campus for our students. And lots going on in our recreation services area, and we have growth in our club sports and intramural sports. And in addition to supporting our students in their physical well-being, we work on educational opportunities for them relative to drugs and other alcohol, drug impairment workshops, and continued AOD education. And I think I've got one more slide. Yep, an update on the University Police. One thing that we love about our police officers across all 3 campuses is they are engaged not only with our students on campus every day, but they also make connections out in the community, which are so critical. Couple of examples for you. Our Penn West Edinboro officers engaged in Stuff the Cruiser event to collect donations for Second Harvest. And we also have officers on all 3 campuses who participate in Shop with a Cop. Many of you are probably familiar with that program in your communities. Some behind the scenes integration things still happening. All campuses, all 3 of them will be migrating to one unified parking software system. And so we are in the midst of that process. The chiefs have been working diligently on that, and we look forward to not only launching that system for the behind the scenes work to make that transition, but also integrating some standardized policies and procedures across the 3 campuses, getting everyone on the same page. And I am most excited to see an update, not only with all the great branding that has been done through Kelly and her team. They worked with the university police to come up with a new branded look for our police vehicles, which you can see the sample here. And the process of rebranding our vehicles has begun. The first set of them are with the vendor who is doing that work. And we estimate that by commencement this semester, we will have all of our vehicles updated with the new brand. So we look forward to that as well. That ends my report. I would be happy to answer any questions that you all have.
Questions or comments, trustee? Anything you wish to add, trustee Larry?
No, nothing at this point.
Thank you. We'll now move to Finance and Administration. The Finance and Administration Chair is trustee Donna Oberlander.
Thank you, Chair Dunbar. The Finance and Administration Committee did hold our quarterly meeting on January 5th. The committee was provided with current affiliate documents to review, and along with the summary of the prior fiscal year's direct university support provided to the affiliated entities and the contributions, financials, and non-financials made by the affiliated entities to the university. The review and discussion were in preparation to certify compliance with the Board of Governors Policy 1985-04-A, University External Financial Support. A question and answer session was held regarding the June 2025 university audited financial statements, and the meeting concluded with a review and discussion of the 2025-2026 budget to actual update. At this time, I would like to introduce Paul Allison, Chief Information Officer and Senior Associate Vice President for Facilities and Management. Paul is with us today representing Betsy Espy, our interim Vice President and CFO for Finance and Administration. Welcome, Paul.
Thank you, Trustee Oberlander. Let's see where we are here. The universities annually must certify that all relationships and affiliated entities are properly authorized in accordance with Board of Governors Policy 1985-04-A, the University External Financial Support Policy. The Council of Trustees was provided with current affiliate documents along with a summary of the prior fiscal year's direct university support to affiliate entities and the contributions, both financial and non-financial, made by the affiliated entities to the university in preparation to certify with the board compliance with the Board of Governors policy. Next slide. Chair Dunbar, I request that the action item be presented.
So would you like it to be presented, sir, in the form of a motion?
Yes.
The motion is that the Council of Trustees approve the resolution of certifying compliance with the Board of Governors Policy 1985-04, University External Financial Support. I would need a first and a second to proceed with the vote.
I'll make that motion, Larry Maggi.
Thank you, trustee.
Second, Nikolai.
Thank you, trustee. We have a motion and a second. Under the policy, is there any other discussion on the motion? If not, Rachel, please take the roll call vote.
Thank you. Trustee Bellini?
Aye.
Trustee Dukin?
Yes.
Trustee Dunbar?
Aye.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee John?
Yes.
Trustee Kennedy?
Yes.
Trustee Logue? Trustee Maggi?
Yes.
Trustee Nikolai?
Yes.
Trustee Oberlander?
Yes.
Trustee Pape? Trustee Pape?
So I'm sorry, Rachel.
That's okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Trustee Pickett?
Yes.
Trustee Weaver? Trustee Whitson?
Yes.
Thank you.
The motion is.
Hi, this is Barb Logue. I think you skipped over me.
Okay. Thank you, Barb.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Trustee Barbara.
You're welcome.
So that motion is carried, Rachel?
Yes.
Thank you. The second item, the action item, is that the Council of Trustees approve the resolution of certifying compliance. Whoops, sorry. Annual financial statement for the period ending June 30th, 2025, as prepared by Clifton Larson. Is that the accurate motion order?
Yes, I believe that Jared Clark has a
Yes.
presentation.
Okay.
Yes, Jared Clark and Sydney Daly from Clifton Larson Allen will present the Penn West audit presentation.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody. Just a brief presentation before the audit is formally certified. My name is Jared Clark. I'm a higher education principal at CLA in Pittsburgh. Happy to be here today. Rachel, would you be able to go to the next slide, please? Really, we just have a brief agenda today, talk a little bit about the audit scope and process, talk about the opinion, and then give a few governance communications along with that. Next slide, please. We were engaged to report on the Penn West financial statements and also with our audit issue an internal control letter if required, as well as the required governance communications letter. I will say our opinion on the financial statements is only on the financial statements of Penn West. Penn West is also part of the state system of higher education and is subject to what we call a single audit in the audit world. That's a compliance audit with federal funds. It doesn't have its own single audit, but it is part of the state systems, and that audit is currently in process. So today we are here to talk about the results of the financial statement audit for Penn West. Thank you. Can we go to the next slide, please? Just some things in the audit. We do perform a risk-based audit. That means we do not audit every last transaction that the university has, but we do look at account balances, frequency of transactions, risks, things like that, to determine our approach. That's how our standards govern the audit. I'm not going to go through all of these boxes here, but really just to point out two in the current period that I think are of importance. Penn West accounts under what we call the Governmental Accounting Standards Board, GASB. And GASB 101 was a new standard that was implemented in the current year. It dealt with the measurement of the university's compensated absence liability, which is amounts recorded for sick leave, vacation leave for employees and whatnot and what forth. So that standard was implemented in the current year. It changed how the university measured that liability. It did result in a larger liability due to the framework of that standard, but that was adopted in the current period. And our largest area, our most significant audit area, the area that we did the most testing on, which is consistent with most universities and prior years, is always the revenue, unearned revenue, and accounts receivable of the university. So really doing detailed testing on tuition, fees, auxiliary revenues, so housing, dining, all the grants and things that the university had. So we got samples, we dug into supporting documentation to make sure that all of these revenues and whatnot were recorded in the correct period for the correct amount. On the accounts receivable side too, we also dug a lot into the allowance for doubtful accounts and anything that would be collectible or uncollectible, and really made sure that was a reasonable estimate from the university's finance team and management. So you can see all those other areas in the boxes there. Again, we don't test every transaction, but those are all areas that we did some testing over for our audit to determine that the financial statements were fairly stated. If we could go to the next slide, please. Just to present the opinion officially, so the financial statement opinion was an unmodified opinion. In auditing terms, an unmodified opinion means that the financial statements were fairly stated in all material respects. It is a clean audit opinion, so happy to report that to everybody. It was issued in mid-November, November 13th. So overall, a clean audit from the audit opinion side. On the audit results side, as part of our audit, we also look at the internal controls of the university, and that's processes and controls in place that the university has to prevent or detect fraud or error in the numbers. And though we don't issue a full opinion on internal control, we don't have any internal control or non-compliance matters to report to this council. So we are happy to share that overall Penn West had a clean audit this year. If we could go to the next slide, please. These are some of our governance communications. Again, just kind of some things that we did summarize at the conclusion of our audit. We issued a PDF communication, but just to highlight some of those key items there. Again, in that overall top left side, the accounting policies are in note 1, other than GASB 101. Not really any changes there. There was an evaluation for a new standard, GASB 102. It was about disclosing significant constraints on universities from the government. That standard didn't really have an impact this year, but it was a standard we did evaluate for. Going down on the left side, happy to report on the difficulty side. You'll see a lot of no's there. So we didn't have any difficulties with the audit. The finance team was very responsive, helpful, and whatnot, and allowed us to complete the audit timely. No disagreements with management on accounting issues, so didn't have any of those disagreements, and no other firms were bought in for different opinions, which is good in the accounting world. No one went opinion shopping per se. Two of, again, our most significant estimates for the university. As part of our audit, we do evaluate estimates used in preparation of those financial statements. One is our allowance for doubtful accounts. That's, again, how much receivables of the university, whether that be student balances, grants, things like that, are uncollectible, as well as the pension and the post-retirement benefits liabilities. There's a significant amount of actuarial work that go into those. They are pretty big numbers. We did look at those actuary reports, look at the data that went to the actuaries to make sure, again, that those are reasonable estimates. So overall, again, no issues with the estimates. We did issue a clean opinion. We didn't have any uncorrected misstatements as of year end. We did have one past adjustment, not a material item, related to some lease accounting. There were no significant and unusual transactions during the current year, so we felt that the items in the financial statements were consistent with the current and usual activity of Penn West or a university of its size. And there's two other things in the financials. This is, again, consistent with other years. Management's discussion and analysis in the front of the statements talks about changes from year to year on account balances and kind of their view of the finances and their outlook for the future, as well as some historical pension and OPEB liability information. We're required to put 10 years of it in the back of the financial statements in the back. So you will find those with the basic financial statements. If we could go to the next slide, please. We are excited to say, and we host this every year, we do have a higher education virtual conference. There is a registration link if anyone would be ever interested in attending it. You could see kind of many of the issues of the day in higher education are discussed at the conference, so it is not purely an accounting conference. Financial sustainability, AI, NIL, and college athletics, so some really interesting stuff. It's free to attend for anybody, so if anyone is interested, please click the link, let me know. We'd be happy to have you. Usually we have several thousand attendees each year, so pretty big one. If we could go to the next slide, please. that's really the end of this presentation. You could skip over the questions and the feedback. Certainly, if anyone does have any questions, I am happy to take them. Any feedback you can have, we're always looking to again provide the best experience possible for the university's audit and accounting services, and that really concludes our presentation. So we really appreciate it. There's my contact information personally, if anyone needs anything from me. But we appreciate the time today and appreciate being a client, or Penn West University being a client of CLA.
Thanks, Jared, for the overview. Trustees, do you have any questions before the action item? So the action item appears again before you. The audited financial statement for Penn West for the period ending June 30th, 2025 by Jared's company, Clifton Larson Allen, was submitted under separate cover for review. The auditor's management letter identified no significant deficiencies or material weakness in financial activities of the Pennsylvania Western University, which is almost a poem. I would need a first and a second on the motion.
So moved, Magic.
Second, Oberlander.
Thank you both, trustees. Also in favor, please so say by roll call.
Roll call.
By roll call vote.
Trustee Bellini,
Aye.
Trustee Dugan,
Aye.
Trustee Dunbar,
Aye.
Trustee Jones,
Yes.
Trustee John,
Yes.
Trustee Kennedy,
Yes.
Trustee Logue,
Yes.
Trustee Maggi,
Yes.
Trustee Nikolai,
Yes.
Trustee Oberlander,
Yes.
Trustee Pape,
Yes.
Trustee Pickett,
Yes.
Trustee Whitson.
Yes.
Thank you. We have a,
The motion is carried.
yes.
Thank you. We're to our last item before adjournment. This is the Advancement Committee. Trustee Nikolai, would you like to introduce what we're looking at here?
Thank you, Chair. The Advancement Committee met on January 6th. Topics covered including a fundraising update, Day of Giving, Campaign Priority Task Force, Virtual Engagement Officer, and upcoming alumni events. At this time, I'm pleased to turn it over to Vice President Geiger for the University Advancement Report.
Thank you, Trustee Nikolai. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'd like to share our fundraising numbers through the first half of the fiscal year. You will see in the light blue column, total raised this year, $4.9 million. Make a note, I'll make a note, we were at 4.2 last year, and we were at about 3.7 the previous fiscal year, the same time frame. So we've seen continual growth for the last 3 fiscal years through the first half of the year. So the group that we've got is out doing great work. The president's doing great work, seeing a lot of alumni and donors. So we're pleased that we're seeing increased dollars coming through. The same is happening for our alumni donors are up 10 over last year, but last year was up over the previous year. So again, we've seen 3 straight years of growth in alumni donors and also total donors. So we're seeing, I think, a little bit of the trauma or drama of integration fading, and our alumni and donors seeing what Penn West really is and has to offer. So a lot of good news in that for us to share. Next slide, please. This slide just adds in our planned gifts, revocable and irrevocable gifts. We want to make sure that we share this in a very transparent way. There's only been $25,000 in new deferred gifts through the first half of the year, so not a big impact on the total numbers, or 29,000, sorry. So not a big impact on our numbers yet, but we continue to reach out to folks about planned giving and encourage them as a way. It's a way to make a great gift in the future, one that can have tax benefits to both you and your families. So we share that information and look forward to continuing to drive those numbers up as well. Next slide, please. Spring Day of Giving is March 19th. Thanks to Kelly and her group, we're partnering this year I think in a better way with communications and marketing. They've already started with creating some graphics for us. So we will start about a month out. So in the middle of February, we will start promoting the Spring Day of Giving. If you recall, last year we had a huge increase, about 50% increase both in dollars and donors over the previous year. And we will look to increase this year again in that same way. So thank you all for your support. We appreciate it. And we'll look forward to 100% giving from all of our volunteer boards this year as well. Alumni events. Dr. Anderson mentioned some of the events that we've had. This is kind of a look forward. We're going to be in New York, Erie, Philadelphia, and Harrisburg. The Harrisburg event will coincide with the Board of Governors meeting. And I know that Trustee Pape is working with our staff on a location and time for that event. So as soon as we have those details, we will share them. But as always, encourage you all to attend any events that you can, either in your area where you may live or on the campus that you attended. Pittsburgh Pirates spring training, that game will be March 15th. That always draws a really big crowd. And we'll also build some other events around areas that we have large concentrations of alumni. The villages, that's one example of where we have a lot of folks. So we will be putting together a couple days worth of events and seeing a lot of folks down in Florida. Our next Penn West Day at Pittsburgh Pirates game is July 26th. I know some of you were able to attend in previous years. That event has been fantastic. And so we'll look forward to continuing that growth as well. Distinguished Alumni Awards, February 27th on the Clarion campus, April 10th on the Edinboro campus, and April 25th on the California campus. So we're looking forward to really recognizing and celebrating some of our outstanding alumni during those events. This is Claire. Claire is our virtual engagement officer. I want to share a little bit about this with you. When we have an updated video, I'll share the video with you as well. But Claire is it's a partnership with a company called Givesy and version 2 AI. It's the world's first AI-powered autonomous fundraiser. And what it does is it really bridges a gap between staff and traditional those fundraisers, and then the direct mail and marketing that we would do to those folks. I've talked with colleagues that are using this and they're seeing great success. That includes large institutions like Oklahoma, Baylor, small like Bucknell, and then Bloomsburg as well. So all these folks have been seeing great return on investment. This is a 3-year program. It's funded by the Clarion University Foundation as a pilot program. We will be providing Claire. If you've caught that, Claire for Clarion. We'll look at, do we think it's Cali for Cal and Edie for Edinboro? I don't know, but assuming this works out well, we'll look to our other foundation partners to help us fund this. But 1,000 names will go into a portfolio. We're going to give about 70% of that portfolio to look at donors who have been continual annual fund donors. And the goal for that group will be to increase revenue. About 30% of the portfolio will be to folks that were regular annual fund donors before integration, but then stopped. And so we're going to see if by using some of this attention that we can bring some of those folks back into the fold. And like I said, we'll continue to evaluate and see if we're seeing a positive return, how we can add it to our Cal and Edinboro alumni donors as well. Any questions about Claire or the concept?
We're excited.
Good. I'm excited too. Everyone I've talked to, they've not seen many, really very few folks have opted out. And they're seeing increasing revenues and gifts. So it looks like we'll be able to ride this wave into the future. Trustee John queued us up for athletics. I could really probably make an hour presentation on each one of our athletic programs. Our student athletes do a great job of representing the institution in the community, on the courts and fields where they play, in the classroom. So just a couple of highlights here. CALB had 20 individuals that were in the PSAC as prominent contributors. This is a celebration of the 75th anniversary of the PSAC conference. So we've had this on each campus, or we're celebrating this on each campus. But Cal had 20 folks in that group. Their football team advanced to the second round of the NCAA playoffs. Golf team tied for 5th in the PSAC. Volleyball ranked 5th in the PSAC. Senior Jonathan Thrush was an individual at the NCAA National Championships. And the Vulcans placed 19 student athletes on the PSAC Fall All-American team. Next slide, please. The Clarion Golden Eagles, as Trustee John said, the Golden Eagles women's soccer team qualified for the postseason for the first time in school history. They won one game. That game was against Edinburgh. We'll see, it's been a while since Edinburgh's been in the playoffs too, so it was a great competitive match. And just great to see both of those programs in the playoffs. The Clarion football team achieved its first winning season in 10 years and had 10 all-conference selections. We had Volleyball Coaches Association All-American honorable mention. The Golden Eagles swimming and diving teams have had many athletes already achieve their NCAA qualifying marks. And then 12 Clarion student athletes have earned PSAC academic all-conference honors through the fall. Next slide, please. And Edinburgh. Edinburgh finished 7-4 in football, their best record since 2018, and they were the PSAC West regular season co-champions. So great to see that program. Really, all three of our programs had great football seasons. And as I mentioned, women's soccer returned to the PSAC postseason for the first time since 2021. Leon Grasnickel in tennis won the ITA Atlantic Regionals and went to nationals. Women's cross country finished 2nd in the PSAC and 3rd in the Atlantic region and also qualified for nationals. Women's golf began competition this fall with some of their first matches. And then women's wrestling at Edinburgh has begun their first season. And Braylon Jones became the first Fighting Scot woman to pick up a win in Edinburgh women's wrestling history. And I thank you for your time, and I'll take any questions that anybody might have.
Trustees, you have questions or comments for VP Jim? Jim, thank you for such positive news.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
Everyone, thank you for joining us this afternoon. Our next quarterly meeting is scheduled for April 23rd, 2026. It will be held on the Clarion campus. At this time, I would like to entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I make a motion.
Thank you. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Is anyone opposed? Do you need a roll call vote, Rachel, or can they say aye? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you. Our meeting is adjourned. The ayes have it. Thank you for your kind and gracious attention.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay.